Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me this morning. You've probably heard the phrase, you can only control what you can control. And that couldn't be more true than right now, especially with new tariffs hitting each day and new news coming out of Washington, D.C. Today we are focusing on what you can do to cut through the noise and keep growing, even in uncertain times like we're in right now. Joining us now is Bill Canady, who is the author of the new book, From Panic to Profit. He's a leadership expert, CEO of Arrowhead Engineered Products, and chairman of OTC Industrial Technologies. Thanks so much for joining us today, Bill, on the show.
It's great to be with you today. Thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely. So let's drill in here and talk a little bit about all that's going on. Tariffs, inflation. There's a lot of business owners out of control or feeling they're out of control. So what can leaders do to focus on what's happening today and stay focused on growing their businesses?
Yeah, it's a gret question. And, before you and I came on, we were talking about just the craziness in the world. And the funny thing, I'm an old guy now. We've seen this type of thing before. If you just go back to the last Great Recession, things come at you so fast. And
That's
what
right.
I keep telling my team is, look, let's focus on what we can control. Let's take care of our customers. Let's make sure we partner with our suppliers. Let's treat our employees with dignity and respect. They're scared to death today, right? They're not sure what's going to happen.
Right.
And by pivoting to that and by looking at the things that we can control, and there is a lot we can control, it makes all the difference out there, Jim.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Having said that, though, there are business owners that are wondering, based on this, do I order more of my product? Do I change strategies inside of my operation, not knowing what's going to be happening or what's coming out of DC? So even though you can control certain things, sometimes it's hard to determine what you should focus on to control that day.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And there is so much that is happening. So what we look at is we look at what our order pattern is in our inventory. And most businesses don't turn their inventory every day. Some do, but if you're selling things like we are, where you're in the automotive space or the recreational vehicles or industrial products, many of us carry a couple of months worth of inventory,
Right.
maybe 1, 2, or 3.
Right.
So what we did, just to give you an example, is the first thing is the tariffs that are already in, those that have hit us are between 10 and 20%. We have put those into place. Now, we went back, negotiated with our suppliers. We got them to take a little bit. We've taken a little bit, but we for sure don't have 20% profit margin. So
Right.
some of that's getting passed on. Other things like the Chinese tariff, they're so large, right? We're making a bet that this is actually going to take longer to play out than what people think. And you kind of have to go one way or the other, but we're making that bet. So what we're doing is we've actually stopped our orders going into China. We're taking nothing in or out of Southeast Asia. We're running through the inventory we have. We have about our top 250 products. We think we're pretty good from about 60 to 90 days. Once that gets through that, we're going to have to make a decision, right?
Right.
And that's going to be just like our competitors are doing. That's going to be, do we start ordering more? Now, a couple of our competitors have not raised their prices like we have. Their inventory is actually getting depleted way faster than ours. Our orders are holding, but it's for sure slowed down. My bet is they're going to sell out, have to go buy those in the tariff that we have today, pay 175% more. We're actually going to take and try and push the elasticity of the pricing. We think we'll be just fine, and we think we've got about 90 days to figure it out.
Okay, that's good. So you don't have to hit the panic button. Speaking of panic, talk to us about your new book, From Panic to Profit. Love the title. I think the timing is right for the new book, so congrats on the new book. Tell us about what motivated you to write the book and then what you want the reader to leave with.
Yeah, it goes right back to what you and I were talking before. Guys like me, what we do is we come in with companies that are going through something, right? I get the call when they're, it's not going the way they want. When we show up, the first thing that we're going to want to do is bring stability to the business, understand that, have that leadership mindset, get everyone together. That's what the book is about. How do you come in, get command and control of your business? We lay our plan out in 100 days. Now, we don't solve everything in 100 days, but we lay it out on that, and then we take that plan, and it's about a 3-year process to go through to get the business really stable and make it to where it needs to be. That's what this book is about. We think it's perfect for the timing right now. Is start with the facts, start with the data, shift your resources for the things that are not working. Like right now, if you're buying globally, as we are, It's not working getting out of Southeast Asia.
That's
We've
right.
pivoted to the products we can control. We're making them available. Our customers are happy. We've got a lot of ongoing communication. We're talking to our employees. We're talking to our suppliers. It's giving us a little bit of headroom to go. It's not perfect, right? But that's what this book is all about. How do you take and fight yourself through these trying times?
Yeah, for sure. So let's dive a little bit deeper. Give us some of the good stuff that's in the book.
Yeah, so if you're a CEO and you come in, what we tell you is there's 4 simple steps you've got to do to get command and control of your business. The first, as the CEO, you own the goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you going? How are you going to get there? Now, you don't decide it by yourself. You work with your board, your investors, your key team, but you pick the destination.
Mm-hmm.
The next step is, what is the strategy that's actually going to get you there? And this is a key point. You want your team to own that strategy. If you own it, they're going to tell you when it doesn't work, hey, I told you this would never work. They're going to blame it on you. But if they own it, they're going to figure out a way to get there, right?
Yeah.
So I set the goal, they set the strategy to get there. The third step is shifting your organization, is putting your resources, your people, your processes, your capital around those critical few things. The problem people struggle with there is that means they have to start saying no to something.
Yeah.
You're going to have to quit doing something. People don't like that. They start questioning, maybe I'm not valued. Maybe this organization doesn't have room for me. It's just the opposite. We want our good people and our resources on our most important opportunities, right?
Right. That's
so
right.
we reorg the company. We align resources around where we think we can win. And in step 4, as you would suspect, it's let's go get it done, right?
That's right.
Let's
That's
make
right.
sure we're actually executing on it.
That's right.
That's our process we go through. It's getting the ownership in the organization that makes the difference.
That's right. And I love step 2 there is to get the buy-in, immediate buy-in from the team because they're coming up with the strategy, right? I mean, that's so vitally important.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing that really causes most plans to fail. I've had amazing strategies. They were the best in the world. We took them, we set them up on a shelf. No one did anything with it. I've had kind of mediocre strategies, and we've changed whole organizations, right? We really, just because people came together, got focused, they believed in it, they were saving their jobs, they were saving their people's jobs, they were making a huge difference. That's when you're going to win. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a team focused on a couple of things.
That's right. That's right. No truer words have been spoken. That's for sure. Businesses have dealt with, as you were pointing out, so many other challenges, COVID and the downturn in the economy and chip shortages and you name it. I mean, American businesses have really had to deal with a lot in the last, really 20 years, ever since we saw the downturn in the economy. How is this different, or is it different than what we've seen in the past?
Well, it's the old situation normal, everything's different, right? So what's really changed right now is businesses, people in general, hate uncertainty. It's risk associated with it. So if we are going to have 175% tariff, I don't like that. We don't like, we're for sure going to drive inflation. But what we're not understanding is it really 175? Is it 100? Is it 50?
Yeah.
Because of that uncertainty, it freezes us in place because when you sell a product, what you do with that money, besides pay your people, invest in your communities, is you take that money and go buy the next set of products.
Right.
If the next set is going to cost you 175% more, if you got it wrong, you don't have the money to buy those products, right? That's where your next piece comes from. So as a leader, as an owner, as a CEO, you got to work backwards. It's one thing to make a big profit on that piece you just made, right? Because you bought it under maybe when there wasn't a tariff and you feel good about it, but you have to have the resources to go forward, that next piece. So you've got to make a decision, and the decision is based on timing, right? We see competitors in our industry right now their sales are booming. I know they're booming. We see the shift. We can see the data. Automotive industry, the RV industry has really good data out there. Mm-hmm. And a few are going through the roof on tires, going to the roof on different products like that. Those tires are coming back with 175% tariff on it, depending on where you're getting it, right?
That's right.
For sure, they're going to have 20%. So it's great. It's wonderful to say this big headline of a sales. You're going to be in trouble if you can't buy your next inventory.
That's right. Yeah, there's no question about it. Is this, some people say don't never waste a good crisis. Is that the situation here where there's some huge opportunity as well?
Absolutely. You know, it's funny. So Churchill, I believe, is credited with saying it first. I don't. Heck, he was credited with saying everything. So I'm gonna give him credit for it. And that is true. This is when you really step up. You got to be a leader, and people are going to remember how you do during this time. You can take advantage of people. It's a terrible. Don't do that. Right?
Yeah.
They will not forgive you.
Yeah, right.
But you can also step in right now and help people. Let me give you an example. One of our big customers, they're over in Italy, is a company called KT, and they're a wonderful manufacturer of motorcycles, been around a long time. Unfortunately, because coming out of the pandemic, they went bankrupt, right?
Okay.
The courts immediately said we're going to get paid 30 cents on the dollar. Terrible situation for all the vendors and all the employees. But we actually saw this as an opportunity. We went and looked at every one of those people that they were selling to because we knew who they were. And we said, look, we're going to keep supplying you. We're going to extend your credit while you go through this because we know you're going to be in business. We have picked up an extraordinary amount of business on a global basis because we're willing to step in and help people during their time of need. You still got to do good business, but people remember how you treat them.
Boy, there's no question about it. We're seeing businesses that are already starting to charge more for the products that they have, that inventory you were just talking about, where it's maybe 2 to 3 months. And they're starting to charge more for that because they're calling it, tariff-free or pre-tariff products or pricing. What's your take on that if a business decides to do that?
Yeah, so you see front running happening. So January was not a great month for a lot of people in our industries. February was worse, but then March got better. We're like, oh my goodness, what's happening?
Yeah.
April has surprised us all because the orders are coming in. People are front running, and then they're going to try to take advantage of it, right?
Yeah.
You got to be careful of that. During national disasters, times of unknown, people panic. Just remember the toilet paper crisis, for goodness sakes, right? We didn't need all of that toilet paper. Well, people are starting to hoard a little bit to try to take and go out and do it. We were looking at an engine rebuild kit for diesel engines. About 3 weeks ago, you could buy that engine rebuild kit for $2,800. Today, the manufacturer is selling that thing for $4,900, right? 21 days, and it's double. So,
wow.
I'm not sure that the tariffs have hit it in that level, but that's what they're doing, and that's what they're going to. Now, look, they got to run their businesses the way they want, but I think this is where communication is going, and it's going to be important to talk to everyone in your supply chain. Tariffs are here. I don't think it's going to go back, at least not in the short run. If you look back under previous administrations, including this one, they started some of this going. We have been moving ourselves out of Southeast Asia for a while, but it takes a long time to get this taken care of. Same thing today. It's even speeded up, but it takes us about 2 years to go from nothing to a greenfield operation to a fully functioning, staffed, everything in it. It's going to, no matter what they do with tariffs right now, we will not be able to snap right back to it, right? This ship has left the port. We're going to have to give it a new home. Much of it's going to come back to the States, which is going to be good for all of us. We're going to get jobs, but we're also going to be dealing with higher inflation, right? So we're going to have to figure out our new normal. Just like another national tragedy, really a world tragedy, was 9/11. How you went through security in the airport will never be that way again, right? It's been 25 years ago. It never will be the same thing with this. It's going to change everything for us. We got to be continuous learners. We got to bet on ourselves, bet on this country. We are going to get through this, but it's going to be different.
That's right. That's right. I'm going to leave it right there. Bill Canady, who's an author, leadership coach, CEO of Arrowhead Engineering Products or Engineered Products. And the name of the book is Panic to Profit. We're showing the book right now on the screen. Thank you, Bill, so much for stopping by. We very much appreciate it. And I know a lot of people are going to get a lot out of your book. In fact, we're going to make a link right below the video that you're watching to just click it and get your own copy, which I highly recommend. So, Bill, thanks again. Love to do a follow-up with you as things are moving along.
Absolutely, Jim. Thanks for having me. I'm available at any time. Have a great day.
Great. Thank you. You too.